Hey there, Storm fans. Today we are playing Heritage Legacy. This is Legacy without any supplemental sets, so no Modern Horizons, no Commander products, only cards that have gone through Standard are we playing today. So in front of you is what I will be playing in this event that's about to start in 11 minutes. So I do need to make this pretty quick, but I had originally submitted Rug Delver. I was going to cheese people. I thought it was closed deck list, and no one had ever said that it was open deck list until late last night. It was announced that it would be public information, so I felt like playing this would have been fine, but I'd be giving up the hedge that I get from playing this, that unknown information mattering quite a bit. So I've decided to switch back to a classic, the Epic Storm shell. In front of you is somewhat similar to like the Epic Storm 7.5, that era of Legacy, where we were playing Cabal Therapy and Thoughtseize post-Gitaxian Probe ban. The difference in this deck list today is we're playing Mishra's Bauble over Ponder, something that we've been doing with the current deck lists. That said, when you look at this deck list that we're playing today, it's lost the appeal of, I guess it's tough because like we don't have Galvanic Relay, right? Which is what made Mishra's Bauble such a powerful effect for us. And we don't have Echo of Aeons either. But is this card still good enough? I'm not sure. That said, it does enable Mox Opal for fast empty the Warrens, which is what I think that we really want to be doing with this deck. That version or that era of Legacy, the Epic Storm is probably the weakest that it's ever been if you look at it historically. So we're not playing those things. I mean, the 4 probe version of this deck was bananas. If you go to the version before that, we had Silence and the Gold Lands. Those were really good for their time. And then we found the Wishclaw versions after, but this era of Legacy was like sort of a historic low for the Epic Storm. We're going to see if we can change that a little bit today with this Mishra's Bauble, enabling more fast protected wins with Mox Opal, Cabal Therapy, and Empty. One of the nice things about Cabal Therapy in today's event is that there's no Force of Negation, there's no Flusterstorm, no Force of Vigor, there's literally only Force of Will or Daze that your opponent can have. So Cabal Therapy gained quite a bit of equity, and we're only playing 2 copies of Thoughtseize in the main deck because of that. We do have one as a wish target, but for the most part, Cabal Therapy is back to being the bee's knees, and that's what we'll be doing today. Ad Nauseam still pretty good. We're running 2 empty, which is a little bit different from what I did in the past. When I won SEG Wooster, I was actually playing 2 empties, but I hated it. That said, back then we weren't running 6 Moxen in our deck, so I'm seeing if that changes it at all for us. But I think really we just wanted to leverage Storm spells, so we're back to 2 empty in the main, 2 on the board. And that's how we're going to beat a lot of these blue decks. Hope of Girapur is back. I'm pretty excited about this. Huge fan of this card. No Ice Fang Quaddle to block it. No Endurance. I think that Hope is going to be quite powerful. We do lose Echo and Galvanic Relay as powerful Burning Wish targets. So we're back to an era where Burning Wish is a little bit weaker. But we still have Peer into the Abyss, which is from a core set, thankfully. So Burning Wish still has one good target that we've gained over the last few years. Yeah, that's what I've got. No Crash or anything like that because we're not playing Wishclaw Talisman. We are back to Infernal Tutor, so you want to play effects like Echoing Truth or Chain of Vapor that you can get out of your hand that won't prevent you from becoming Hellbent. We have to worry about becoming Hellbent again. I can't believe this. The year's 2022 and I'm still worried about getting Hellbent. A little bit nervous about that. We are running 2 copies of Badlands, 1 Volk, 1 Underground Sea. This is not an accident. When you look, we only have 6 blue cards in our deck. We're primarily a red-black deck, so 2 copies of Badlands. It also gives us 3 mountains for the Sideboard Pulverize, which should be lovely. I hope you enjoyed this Heritage Legacy event today. Should be pretty fun. Just something that we're doing with other content creators. I'm going to upload my matches, see how they go. Yeah, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And as always, let's go crush some fools with Cabal Therapy and Empty the Horns, right? Alright, I'll see you in the first match. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation-dex. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Alright, match number 1, and I am facing Callum Smith, the Cloud Goat Ranger Painter Expert. They are on the play, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. We're 1 mana short of a turn 1 Empty the Warrens, backed with Thoughtseize. Another Rite of Flame or another Dark Ritual will be turn 1 Empty with Thoughtseize. Alright, we're going to see a turn 1 Great Furnace. Come on, deck. Be there. Infernal Tutor. I don't believe that does it. Let's lead off on the Underground Sea. So if I go Dark Ritual, Infernal Tutor, Reveal, Rite of Flame, Burning Wish, I'm 1 mana short. So what I'm going to do is just cast this Thoughtseize. Enlightened Tutor. That's kind of scary, because Callum has a main deck Aethersworn Canonist. This deck, this event is public deck list, so we know that there's a Canonist in the main deck. 3 Curran the Great Creator, that's kind of terrifying. But I think we just take the Painter here. Pass the turn. Ancient Tomb. And passing. No Creator Maker. Another Dark Ritual. So do we have Pier? I think we're 1 short of Pier. I could empty, but do I really want to do that? Callum has no... Or I guess there's an Ensnaring Bridge? So if I go Dark Ritual and Lane Tutor floating a black, get another Rite of Flame. Pretty sure this just doesn't work, because it's a break even on mana. Lotus Petal. Sorry, for some reason I'm having a tough time visualizing this in my head. So we'll tap the Swamp. Essentially, Rite of Flame cast. These 3 go get the Pier, and then I have 6 mana. I'm just going to Infernal Tutor. Grab a Dark Ritual, pass the turn. I don't want to empty if I can just cast Pier. It's worth noting that there is 4 copies of Curran in Callum's sideboard. And there it is. Or in Callum's deck, I said sideboard. 3 copies of Curran. So Callum drew the land and the Curran. So now I need a red source. If I draw a red source, I'm pretty close to Lethal Tendrils. So Callum could get Needle here and name my fetch lands. Curran off the top was certainly a good draw. If I had gotten empty last turn, Callum doesn't have any sweepers in the sideboard, but does have Grindstone and no Painter. But there's an Ensnaring Bridge in the main and the board. Maybe I should have just emptied, I don't know. Giving Callum 1 draw to hit didn't seem like the worst thing, but obviously it bit me in the butt. Draw. I think I'm supposed to sit on this because if I draw a red land next turn, I have lethal. Callum Crypts. So now Callum can go get the Painter. Good play. And now Callum has double counter backup. Probably just dead. Draw. Callum has lethal between the Enlightened Tutor and the Painter. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay, well that was a fast game 1. Maybe I was too much of a coward and I should have just emptied. Do I even want to change anything here? I'm going to board out 1 empty. I'm not super confident in that as a choice. We can bring in a Chain of Vapor. And I think I'm going to swap Therapy with a Thoughtseize, so I'm not guessing. Okay, let's try this out. It's a bummer. Looking at Callum's list here, 3 Curran the Great Creator. So Callum had to draw exactly Curran plus land to get me there, and that's exactly what happened. So no sweepers. They did have an ensnaring bridge in both the main and the side, but maybe I'm supposed to go for it even with the Enlightened Tutor being there. I was just being a coward. This hand's clunky. I think we can do better. This is turn 1 empty. Will 10 goblins be enough? Okay. I'm going to try to sequence this poorly. I hope that Callum tries to surgical my Rite of Flames. We're going to get Badlands in case I draw a discard spell after. Rite of Flame. Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Hold control, cast Burning Wish. Crack for 3 red. Grab an empty. Cast it. 10 goblins. Black Belcher. We have 6 discard spells we can draw into. That is not one of them. Hiya. Callum's at 10 with an Ancient Tomb in play. We got there. Going to game 3 against Painter. Heck yeah. Goblins are back. Switch this back to card view. I'm going to just resubmit. So this is a turn 2 ad nauseum. The question is, do I think that's good enough? Callum mulligans. I'm going to hate myself and lose to Curran, but I'm going to keep. Plateau. Turn 1 Canonist, huh? We have 1 Chain of Vapor in the main deck, and then we have Burning Wish. Okay. The Chain of Vapor is not likely to work due to all the blast that this deck plays. Good hand, wow. There's only 1 Canonist. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 1 in the board, so Callum could have boarded in a second Canonist. Come on, Brainstorm. Bobble. Let's find out if we want that card or not. We're going to fetch that away. Pass the turn. Draw off Bobble. Another Bobble. Discards Arid Mesa. So they wanted their other 2 cards. It's interesting. We'll take 4 here. We go to 12. Callum now has 4 mana to cast Curran the Great Creator. Here it is. Good hand. Going to shut off the Bobble and the Lion's Eye Diamond. And Callum will have 6 mana next turn to lock me out with Lattice, so I have to draw exactly Burning Wish here, or I'm dead. That's a Needle. Come on, deck, give me Burning Wish. Callum names Delta. I think we're just dead now. Drew a lot of lands. Plus his Curran will take 5. Which makes this lethal next turn. I think we're just out of this. Painter Servant with 1 card in hand, sure. Draw. And that's the match. So we are starting this event out 0-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2, I'm facing Maverick Legend Dukes on Twitch. Their username on Magic Online is Kazurban. And one of the important things about this matchup is winning game number 1. Here I have a hand that goes turn 1 ad nauseum with Infernal Tutor, a classic Legacy feeling. Pretty excited about this. That said, it's really important that we win game number 1 because in the post-board games, Dukes has not only Deafening Silence but also Mindbreak Trap, which is terrifying. So we're going to keep this. We are not on the play, unfortunately. That said, Maverick usually doesn't have interactive pieces in game 1 against us. So here we see a Mother of Ruins. I'll play Badlands, cast this Rite of Flame, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond. Sacrifice for a black. I'm going to hold this control key and cast Infernal Tutor. Sacrificing diamonds for black. Click OK. We're going to grab Ad Nauseam. Cast Ad Nauseam from 20 life, floating 2 mana. Oh boy. Let's reveal this tab. We do have 2 empties in our deck. Mishra's Bauble being a 0 here is pretty nice. Okay. We're at 5. I'm free to flip one more. We'll stop there. Okay, Bauble. Bauble. Opal. Lotus Petal. I don't actually know how much mana I have. It's not something I was paying attention to. Played the Opal. It looks like I actually didn't draw much mana off that. Okay, so right now I have 6 mana, which is enough to go Burning Wish Tendrils. Grab it. Where is it? Here it is. Sorry, the pop-up for that's just incredibly small. And that's game number 1 over Maverick. So now we need to beat Mindbreak Trap plus Deafening Silence in these post-board games. Pretty terrifying. So here, Echoing Truth. We want Chain of Vapor. I think we want Thoughtseize over a Cabal Therapy. So we're at 64 cards right now. And now we need to figure out what to side out. Traditionally, I'd want more discard, but maybe we just don't play the therapies at all and we only do Thoughtseize. Or you make the sacrifice of maybe I don't play Baubles. It's tough to say. Baubles do enable Metalcraft for faster wins. Could also be a madman and just board out Brainstorms. Dukes is boarding in Red Blasts. So it's not actually that crazy. But my problem with Bauble is that it's slow in a matchup where we really want to be fast. I think we're supposed to board out Baubles. It does make Opal a little bit worse, but I don't know. Could also try boarding down on Opals. Or is it crazy to do a split? Something like this? I'm just gonna stay fast. I know it's crazy. I'm boarding out Brainstorm. You can judge me. I don't care. I think that this makes sense. I want to keep the speed up. Game number 2 versus Death and Taxes. Okay, so we have Thoughtseize for Mindbreak. We have Echoing Truth for Deafening Silence. This hand's not great, but I think it's fine enough. Forest into Bird. Draw. That was a good one. Here, I think I'm going to fetch out the basic Swamp, so that way we can avoid Wasteland just a little bit and cast this Thoughtseize. Ooh. Double Thalia. Take the Mindbreak. Pass the turn. So here we're going to see a Thalia plus the Windswept Teeth. I cannot Echoing Truth on my turn. I'm going to have to wait 2 full turns to Echoing Truth this Thalia. And in those 2 turns, I need to draw spells for this Empty the Warrens. Draw for turn. Step 1. So the Knight of the Reliquary is going to be an issue. Because I can play out the Volcanic and Echoing Truth next turn. The issue with that is if they play Knight here, it really hurts me because I want to Echoing Truth on the end step, and I won't be able to do that because they can Wasteland me on their main phase and then replay Thalia. So I might have lost this game because the Echoing Truth isn't Chain of Vapor. Ooh, Wasteland. So they just naturally have Wasteland as their draw step. Okay, we might be out of this sooner rather than later. I think I'm supposed to take the knight here. Alright, Knight of the Reliquary. There's so many knights. So my out at this point is I need to draw land number 3, but also Burning Wish into Massacre. And Massacre is going to be tough because Dukes wisely doesn't fetch for a plains. Okay. Taking 3, going down to 12. Passes the turn. Draw. I think I'm supposed to start playing some of this stuff out. I know that we're the empty deck, but if I draw another artifact, I get 3 mana, and that's actually very huge. So we lose some possible storm count for empty. I'm aware. Cradle doesn't really do anything meaningful. I guess they have 2 cards in hand. For some reason, I thought that they only had the Thalia, but I must have missed the draw step on their previous turn. Draw. And now we have Metalcraft. Pass the turn. We're going to 6 here. My best draw is probably something like Chain of Vapor. Another Opal. I just have to pass here. So I'm going to 3. So this is, I have to do something now. That's what this means. They have 4 in hand. A little bit of lag there. Echoing Truth, the Thalia. They're going to give it protection from blue with the Mother of Ruins. Or do they just want to use the Pyroblast they have in their hand? Okay, so Mother has been used. Look at their top card. This gives me an extra chance to potentially draw into Chain of Vapor. Draw off the Bauble. Underground Sea. So I've lost this game, but I can Thoughtseize them to get a little bit more information. They did have the Red Blast. Okay. So we can go to the next game. We're on the play for game number 3, which is huge, but they still are a Mindbreak Trap deck. I'm going to hit submit. Game 3, we are on the play versus Maverick. Deafening Silence is in Mindbreak Traps. Unfortunately, I cannot keep this. Damn. This is decent. We don't have a tutor, but the rest of it's pretty good. Okay. Duke's going all the way down to 5 cards. 4 cards. Alright, so we're going to play Thoughtseize off a Swamp. Mindbreak Deafening Silence. What a 4. Holy. Yeah, you got it. If you had to pick 4 cards, that's probably it. They used the Windswept, and now Deafening Silence. Yep. Draw for turn. We're just going to pass. We need to draw into a tutor effect. That's how we win this game. Wooded Foothills. Noble Hierarch, sure. Draw. I can empty here. There's 1 unknown. I can get punished by the 1 unknown in the deck. I think I just have to try to Chain of Vapor. Please don't blast me. Okay. Dark Ritual. Fetch. We'll grab Badlands. No, I think it's supposed to be Volcanic. Vermis 3. Hold control. We're going to make 10 goblins versus a Deafening Silence and 1 unknown. All right. My hand is on the table. Dukes fetches down to 18 life. Taiga. And a concession, yes! So that means that we're 1-1 in this Heritage Legacy event. I actually don't know the tournament structure. I don't know how many more rounds there are. I would guess 2 more, but I'm not sure. So let's just focus on winning 1 round at a time. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3 of Heritage Legacy. I am facing Bryant Coval on Doomsday. Terrible matchup for us. The one bright side is Brian has 4 Force and 1 Daze as counter magic in the main deck, 4 discard spells. And this is a hand that doesn't have any payoffs. I don't know if this is going to be good enough. I think I'm actually going to mulligan. Like, this hand is close, but with Therapy, if this was a Thoughtseize, I think I'd keep, but with Therapy, I think I'm going to mulligan. Much better. Keep, and we will bottom a Mox Opal. Let's begin. Brian also mulliganed. We will lead on Badlands into Thoughtseize. Double Force of Will. I'm going to take this Limdol's Vault and try to come back next turn with Cabal Therapy. Underground Sea. Pass the turn. That's a good one. Cabal Therapy you. Do you draw a blue card, Brian? And it resolves! Force of Will! Get out of here! Get out of here! Boom! Lotus Petal. Okay. So it's worth noting, if Brian draws Doomsday off the top, Brian can actually cast it, which is terrifying. I need to draw a mana source, and then I can cast Peer into the Abyss. Scalding Tarn, Lotus Petal. No, you didn't draw it. No way. Oh, wow, I have to rip a mana source. What a draw. I talked it into existence. No way. Okay, I just have to draw a land. The land does it. I don't even need a Peer. I could Tendrils with a land. Land, Infernal Tutor. Chrome Mox does it. What a savage top decker. I will be letting Brian hear this on the Eternal Glory podcast. Heart of the cards. We've gotta draw it now. Please, deck, please. That's not good enough. We're dead. Damn. Consider Mills Deep Analysis. Lines of Diamond. Yep. And Cavern on Merfolk into Thassa's Oracle. I mean, I missed my opportunity here. It's unfortunate. I had to draw a mana and I drew a 3rd protection spell. What a bummer. That wouldn't have done it either. Okay. That was heartbreaking. We're going to bring in Hope of Europer. And board out empty, which may seem weird, but when you look at Brian's deck list, there's a Nausea in the board, if you know what Nausea does. This is actually part of the origin story behind the name of Solidarity and Legacy, the High Tide combo deck. It involves this card, Nausea, and a limited match. Brian has Echoing Truth for Goblin tokens as well, on top of 2 copies of Engineered Explosives. So Goblins are not what we want to be doing whatsoever. We're going to get rid of those. and try to make a comeback. I mean, that was a perfect series of drops from Brian. Lotus Petal into Doomsday got me. So we boarded out 2. We need one more card to come out. I think it's going to be this Mox Opal. Hit submit. The highs and lows of that game were absolutely devastating. Actually, I think I want the Thoughtseize over the Therapy. And here we go. Game number 2. We are on the play. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to ship this, but it doesn't beat Force of Will. Brian takes a mulligan and keeps 6. Fetch. Underground Sea. Let's attempt a Dark Ritual. This is a little bit different where in this version of the deck, that casts a discard spell after, so Brian is more likely to try to counter a Dark Ritual. That said, Brian might also just be like, I can't afford to counter Dark Rituals. That's also a valid line. We'll add 3 red. It doesn't matter. Brian either has Force or he doesn't here. Okay. Ad nauseum. Floating a black. Storm 5. We have no 4-drops in the deck. Okay. Casual 27 cards off ad nauseum. Dark Ritual. And that's the game. So we've gotten game number 2. Now we're going to game 3. Ooh, I showed Brian Hope-a-Gyaraper. I didn't realize that. That's a bummer. Okay, so then was maybe a misplay on my part. But I can, like, this is open deck list, so Brian knows about Hope-a-Gyaraper. He could safely assume that I sided it in. We're just going to resubmit. It's game 3. We're on the draw against the Brian Coval, Bosch and Roll on Doomsday versus the Epic Storm. This is a good one. I'm definitely keeping this. Brian is mulligan. We're going to keep. Okay, Brian has kept 6, bottomed a card, and we're ready to play Magic. Polluted Delta. Underground Sea. Ponder. Did not shuffle. Lotus Petal. Duress. So Duress can take my Thoughtseize or Lion's Eye Diamond. And Brian chooses the Thoughtseize, which is pretty interesting. Because I think that means that Brian has Doomsday in hand. We find a Bobble, which is fantastic. Play the Diamond. Underground Sea. Play Hope-a-Gyaraper. Bobble. We're going to have 3 draws into victory on our next turn, assuming that we get one. Okay, so let's see what Brian kept on top with his Bobble. Force of Will. Okay, so that's a draw that doesn't kill me here. Go to the end step. We will Bobble Brian again. See what the 3rd card was. So Brian kept just Force. We have 3 draws right now. Let's do it. Draw number 1. Draw number 2. Come on, Infernal Tutor, baby. That's not a bad one. But I don't know if it's actually good enough. Play the Delta. Attack with Hope-a-Gyaraper. This makes 6 mana, not 7. Really wish I had an Echo of Aeons right now. There's 3 more discard spells in Brian's deck. I'm 1 mana short. This is a tough call. If I empty, I lose to a number of cards in Brian's deck. I think I just have to pass. Brian fetches away the Scalding Tarn. Limdol's Vault. So Brian could be looking for, like, an Engineer Explosives here. because explosives would blow up my diamond, leaving me set pretty far back. But then the question is, can I afford to play around the Force of Will in Brian's hand? And Brian has elected to keep the cards on top. I could sacrifice the Hope of Gearper here. I just don't think it's the best choice. If Brian wants to explosives, I think I have to accept that. I think I beat Land Doomsday, so I don't think it's that. It's Shieldred. Interesting. So that does beat the Peer into the Abyss. Okay. So I'm going to lose 2 here. And I drew the land, but the land doesn't beat... Or I can't Peer now, or else I die. Tech with Hope, they have 1 card on top. I don't think empty's good enough. Brian has 4 answers. So I could sack the Hope, Brian wouldn't be able to cast anything. And then I would have to draw a discard spell. Alright, we're going to sack the Hope, I guess. Alright, Hope of Gearper has been sacrificed. We'll play the Opal. Lotus Petal. The one silver lining here is that I don't have to sacrifice the LED. Burning Wish. Click yes. We'll grab empty. Empty for 8 goblins. What stinks is if I had gone for empty the previous turn, I think we would have won this. We ripped the therapy, wow. Attack. Brian can block 1. Take 7. Ball therapy you. We know about the Force of Will. No point in naming consider here. Pass the turn. Brian's now at 12. And there's the explosives. That's going to be the game. Brian perfectly tucked it with the Limdol's Vault. Alright, kudos to Brian. If I had gone for the empty a turn earlier and not waited on the Peer, I think we would have gotten this. That's such a bummer. But we're 1 and 2. We are eliminated from top 4. I'll play out the 4th round just for the sake of video, but we are dead. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The final round of Heritage Legacy, I am facing Elves Expert Testacular. And we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this hand. It's pretty close to turn 1 ad nauseum. It's at least a turn 1 empty. I want to see if I can get it over the hump. It's worth noting that we really want to win game number 1, primarily because our opponent has 4 Thoughtseize and 2 Mind Breaks in the sideboard. And that does it. That's a turn 1 ad nauseum. Underground Sea, Chrome Mox. Thank you, Mox Opal. Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond. Cast this Rite of Flame. Tap for a black, hold control. We're going to add triple black. Let's go search up that ad nauseum. Turn 6. Starting off with the Lotus Petal is always welcome. Okay, we've revealed a lot of zeros so far. We need a Burning Wish. Pop out this, I guess. There's the Burning Wish. That should do it. The ad nauseums in this deck are just insane. Like, the switch to Bobble over Ponder was a big deal. On top of the fact that there's no sixes in this deck, so you can flip until you're at 4 or reveal the empty. So that was a casual 32 cards off ad nauseum. No big deal. Play the Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual. Play another Opal. Tap for red, Rite of Flame. Burning Wish. Grab the Chicken Tenders. Thoughtseize you. They had a good hand. It just wasn't up to what we were doing. Okay. Storm 19. Click, click, boom. Game number 2 coming up. 2 Mind Breaks, 4 Thoughtseize. That's what we're looking to beat here. And there is not a Collector Oof in their deck. That means we don't need bounce spells. Wow, no Collector Oof. So empty isn't amazing here. So I think I'm just going to bring in the extra Thoughtseize. Let's submit this. Playing this old list is bringing back feelings. That said, I don't know how good it actually is. I'm going to keep this. We have the Bobble as a redraw. We'll be fine. Our opponent has taken a fast mulligan to 5. Wooded Foothills into Bayou. Elvish Reclaimer. So no Thoughtseize. Draw. Brainstorm. That's a good one. Grab Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Take the trap. Bobble. Pass the turn. In their upkeep, we will bobble them so we know what they draw. Another Zenith. Okay. They do not attack with the Reclaimer. We draw off the bobble. Thoughtseize. And that's a Peer into the Abyss. I believe that this event is going to be over for us in just a moment. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Sacrifice, hold control. Black. Red. Okay. Grab the Peer into the Abyss. Target me. Storm is 6. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Opal. Petal. Petal. Tap for red. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Burning Wish. And we will go grab the Tendrils of Agony. Our opponent said, good games indeed. That's it. We went 2-2. Yeah, so I normally do like a review after, but like I'm never going to play this deck again. I guess I can show you the deck list. Okay, I was looking at this in between rounds. Please forgive me. I know you don't want to be looking at Pioneer. All right, so this is what we played today. Could I possibly change something? Sure. I think there was a few spots where I was hesitant to empty and I got burned. 2018 Bryant probably would have jammed really aggressively, but here I'm so used to having the option of waiting nowadays where maybe that bit me in the butt. Maybe former Bryant would have been better with this list. I'm not sure. But I wish that, 4 years ago, I would have figured out Mishra's Bobble. I think that was the missing piece I was looking for this whole time, and I was just too afraid to play it. I do believe that to be a truth here. I don't know if you need 3 Opal, 3 Chrome Mox. You might be able to do like 2 and 2 and then get 2 flex spots maybe. I'm not quite sure. Because when we resolved ad nauseum, we drew the moon. Like, maybe you could also cut a land if you're going to play 6 Mox, and I'm not sure. But the deck was fun to play today. It definitely brought me back to the past. I don't want to play this list. If I'm being completely honest, like you might be looking at this and being like, this is so awesome. I want to play 13-3. This is the list I want to play. I love Galvanic Relay. I don't want to go back. In fact, I've been quoted to say, you can also find this opinion on Twitter. I think that this is the best version of the Epic Storm that has ever existed. And by this version, I mean the Galvanic Relay era. So including the 5-color era with Silence, where I top 8'd a GP, I won a bunch of Jupiter Games events, into the 4 Probe, 4 Therapy, 4 Empty, what people called the Triforce era. That deck list was bananas. I think that this one's even better. Veil of Summer, Wishclaw Talisman, and Relay have really reshaped the Epic Storm, and I think that this is my favorite version. I'm not sure if I'm going to publish the Heritage TES video or the 13.3 update video first, but if you watch this and turns out I published this one first, congrats, you got a sneak peek at the deck list. Video is going to come out this week. It's a sweet one. And I love this deck list. I love that Crash is back. It's pretty sweet. I get to play my favorite card, Grape Shot. It's going to be great. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Heritage was fun for a day, but I actually like current TES. So I know a lot of you are going to be upset that I like Modern Horizons cards or whatever, but it's great. All right. Have a great day. Keep storming, all that good stuff. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.